Hi, Jacob.
Hi, how's it going?
Cool background.
Thank you. I wonder where I got it. I don't
I
know.
know.
I don't know. So how's it going today?
It's going great. How is it going for you?
It's amazing. It's awesome.
Cool. Good.
My name is Jacob from Extreme Cinema Reviews and TVQC. It is such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for joining us for this interview.
Thank you. QTVQC is Quebec.
Yeah, TVQC is Quebec.
Amazing. Cool.
I really wanted to talk about the Sacrifice Game because it is such a wild and dark movie, and we have a bunch of questions.
Cool. Let's do it.
My first question is, why did you choose Adrien Moreau?
Oh, I mean, that was just a dream. That was like it wasn't choosing. It was the producers were like, "Do you want Adrian Moreau?" And I was like, "Are you joking? We can get Adrian Moreau? That's magical. Yes, please." I mean, I've been a fan of his work for so long, and then even this year alone, getting to see Megan and The Whale, like, and they're just masters of their craft. And it was so special to get to work with him and his team.
Yeah, definitely, he is a master. His prosthetic in the whale are fascinating. This is just over the top quality.
Incredible.
Like working with him.
So he designed all of the prosthetics for the movie. So I mean, in situations like that, you know, I have my ideas. I've written the project, I've developed it, I've prepped it, and you go into the conversation, and I'm like, here are my ideas, and then he just starts saying all these like really cool things from all of his, you know, years of experience, and you're like, oh yeah, that exactly what you just said, that, and then he makes it happen, and so it was a super magical process. And then he has a great team that was on set that was actually applying the prosthetics.
Wow. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Among the music that can be heard in the film, The Sacrifice Game, I thought I noticed that your name appears. Were you composing or singing?
Oh, I think I was singing. I'm one of the singers in the. I definitely was not composing. We have a great composer, Mario Savigny, who composed the most beautiful score. It's incredible. I love it so much. Um, uh, but my name is in there because I'm one of the Christmas carolers singing in the beginning of the movie.
Like I was asking because I really loved the music, and I was like, hmm, okay, is she singing or what? I wanted to know.
No, I mean I love working with musicians. I am not a musician in any way.
And why did you choose the 70s for the timeline of the Sacrifice Game?
Well, we love 70s horror. My co-writer and I love 70s horror. And there were so many movies that we felt like there were so many influences we had from that time that felt right for this movie, like Last House on the Left and Black Christmas and Suspiria. And there's this great French movie from 1971 called Don't Deliver Us from Evil, about two schoolgirls who get into dark things. So we had all of these influences. Plus, we felt I read Helter Skelter when I was a teenager and have always been fascinated by the Manson family. And so that was also in my mind. So in bringing all these elements together, we just started to feel like early 70s was the right time to set it.
That's cool. So you are always a fan of horror movies.
Yeah, since I've been a teenager.
What was your first horror movie?
So my very first experience was, well, there's two actually. Okay, so when I was 5, I
Okay,
watched Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like obsessed with Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was shot in Quebec, I believe. You guys
I
did Are You?
think, yeah.
Okay. Then when I was 7, I accidentally walked into a room of people watching The Shining, and I saw the two twin girls, and I was like, oh my God. And then that became a favorite forever. But at the time, I was traumatized by seeing The Shining. So those were my first early horror experiences. And then when I was 12, oh no, like 10, I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that was my gateway drug into horror, and then I became obsessed, and it was like watching all the like, you know, teen slashers, and then slowly discovering the history of horror, and it's been a lifelong obsession.
It's the same for me. I'm such a sucker for horror.
Yes.
I believe that the Sacrifice Game was shot in Quebec. Can you
Yes.
tell us what part of Quebec and why did you choose this location?
Absolutely. We shot in Oka,
Okay.
outside Montreal, at Oka's Abbey. And I was introduced to Phil Kalin and Albert Malamed, who are producers here in Quebec. And we wanted to make this movie together. And they introduced me. I'm from New York. Like, I didn't know the filmmaking community of Quebec. They introduced me to it. And they introduced me to so many incredible artists. And they brought me to Oka Abbey, and I fell in love with that location, which is like an old monastery from like the 1800s. And the pieces started to come together, and then getting to work with the Quebec film community this past year has just been a complete joy, because we shot in Oka, but then we also did all of our posts in Montreal. So our editors are from Montreal, our composer, our sound designer, and our VFX team, Real by Fake, is also from Montreal. And it was just, I was here a lot in the past 18 months, and I got to like discover Quebec as well. Like, I went to Quebec City, I went to Bromont, I like really started to just discover how magical this place is, and I love it, and I want to make lots of movies here.
That is so cool. I'm actually from Quebec City.
Oh, cool. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, have you seen Old Quebec?
Old Quebec, in Quebec City?
Yeah.
Was that, I mean, I went to the hotel, like the very fancy hotel.
Oh, yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah.
And according to the media, the Sacrifice Game mostly has a Canadian cast. What was the process for audition? What were you looking for at audition?
Yeah, it's interesting because you have these ideas of who you think the characters would be, and then you see auditions and you just have a guttural yes or no. So, and that's what I felt for the auditions. So specifically, Madison is from Toronto, Georgia's from Vancouver. So we had an audition process where we auditioned lots of teen girls. And we also auditioned for a couple of roles. Laurent and Derek, or Laurent Petra and Derek Johns, are both from Montreal. And you just feel this guttural feeling of like, yes, this is the person. Like, that is Grant. That is Doug. And that's what I felt for all of them. And then getting to like watch them all come together. Mina Masood coming in and playing Jude, and Olivia playing Maisie, and also Gus and Chloe Levine. Like, everyone became a family, and it was so lovely to behold.
And between The Ranger and The Sacrifice Game, what movie are you most proud of and why?
I love them both equally. They're like I don't have children, but I have to imagine, I mean, these are my children. And so I love them both equally. And I think they're both, they have their differences, but they also, I think people will find some shared themes that I'm interested in. So for me, it's like a continuous journey, and a continuous creative journey. And I'm excited to see what the third child will be in the future.
Great. And when will The Sacrifice Game be released?
So we're going to be on Shudder later this year, and we're also in the process of selling international territories, and Red Sea Media is overseeing our international.
Great. Well, thank you so much for this interview. It was very, very cool. And The Sacrifice Game is such a good movie. You guys should see it. It is amazing. And it is gory, it is dark, it is very creepy, and some CGI thing as well. I cannot give you any spoilers, but check it out.
Thank you so much, Jacob.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.